Merhaba YouTube, ALSENYAZ Oyun kanalına hoş geldiniz. Ben İsa, Dragon Age'e kaldığımız yerden devam ediyoruz. Seyirler başlayalım. Evet, şimdi buraya gideceğiz demiştik. Bunun kapısı açılmayabilir ama yine bir önceki bölümde olduğu gibi çoktan gidip şansımızı denemiş oluruz. Onun haricinde başka ne yapabilirim? Şuraya gidemiyorum. Niye gidemiyorum bilmiyorum. Olmadı bir başka görev seçeceğim. Bir başka görev seçeyim bakayım. Buraya yönlendir. Tamam, şuraya bir deneyeyim. Burası açılmazsa bu ışınlanır, buradaki görevleri yaparız. Mekanizmayla o zaman arkadan açılıyor. Kim bilir nereyle bağlantılı bu. Buraya ben nasıl gideceğim ya? Buranın bir olayı vardı da kim bilir nasıl. Böyle kapalı hep. Hiçbir yer. Neyse, zorlamayacağım.
What was that? Oh, my fellow researcher. What can I do for you?
Adama pek güvenesim gelmedi de göreceğiz bakayım ileride.
I've spotted several dragon
Çok
signs
güvenmediğim
around the
isim oldu
approach.
biliyorum. Hiçbir şey kimseye güvenmiyorum diyeceksin belki. Diyeceksiniz
I
belki
don't
de.
suppose you noted the wound
Ne bileyim,
pattern.
hiç güven vermiyorlar.
No
Ne
matter,
yapayım?
I'll look into that later. On trust is mercy. From what I can tell, the dragon has been moving east and will be scouring the wastes next. Naturally, the dragon's hunting ground is full of miscreants, White Claw raiders. They've covered the area in traps for Maker only knows reasons. Quite a mess.
Belki ejderhanın olduğu yere gitsek ne oluyor? Ejderha indiremeyiz ki. Kaç tane ejderhayla karşı? Çok uçlar.
We'll have to speak some other time.
Uzaklar yok edildi. Neredeymiş bu görev? Burada, tamam, yolun üstünde yaparız. Daha direkt bu görevi yaparım olmadı. Ondan sonra dönüşte de o şeyleri yaparız. Ben burada tuzakları nasıl olacak? Bana burada dolandığına göre tuzaklar buluruz. Ne yaptık gittik doldurduk. Ah, keskin beyaz pençeler. Tuzakları anlamadım ya. Tuzakları nasıl bulacağım ki? Beyaz pençeler tutulan yok elimiz. Mercekler kıdemli akıncılar muhtemelen araştıracaklarımız çıkarmış için terbiye sağlar. Hiçbir şey göstermiyor. Ben göre yapamam böyle. Ancak öyle tesadüf eseri bulursak yaparız. Evet, bak. Şu tuzağın da yerini göster. İşim bitsin bir öyle. Evet, son tuzağı da bulduk.
The men who said these will come for us.
Gelsinler. Hiç sıkıntı yok. açalım. Büyücü için mi bu? Büyücü için galiba. Tamam.
We should look around.
Önemli olan ikincisi. Her zaman. Buraya boşuna mı çıktı? Nasıl kötü olan ya. Nasıl hasara bak ya, çok kötü. Burada falan olsa eyvallah, süper olurdu aslında da. Çok hasar. Bakalım hasarlara. Bunun bile benimkinin neredeyse 2 katı. Bunun düşük mesela. Onun hasarımız bayağı düşük.
I think Blackwall would have liked to have been here for this.
Neymiş? Burası zaten buna yakın.
Nothing to report, sir.
After more than 30 days, I have yet to observe the abyssal high dragon in... Oh, yes? Can I assist you?
The raiders are no longer in the way.
I've made note of the appropriate spots in the wastes for you to place lures. I must locate my supplies to create the bait. Then we can proceed.
We'll have to speak some other time.
Seçelim görev. Buraya yakın bir yer olmuş. Dur, buradan giderim. Bu görevi yaptıktan sonra bir gidip üstümüzdeki elbise şeyleri boşaltalım. Bir şey falan düştüğü zaman bulamıyoruz. Bir de şu sağlam yaratıklar değil mi ya? Bundan öldüreceğiz de bunlar çok sağlam ya. Böyle de yapalım. Buradan kaleye su vereceğiz.
Inquisitor.
Bol bol lazım buna. Görevi teslim edip görev aldıktan sonra bir kaleye uğrayıp müzik eşyaları, gereksiz eşyaları satalım.
Nothing to report, sir.
Of course, Duran's theory of high dragon behavior is absurd, but... Oh, yes? Did you need something?
One tail feather and one batch of intestines, as requested.
My friend, you are invaluable. I will certainly note your assistance in my monograph on the High Dragon. I will attempt to lure her out as soon as my background research is complete.
Lan çekeceksin de geberip gideceksin, ejderha
The
çekmek
ancient
nedir?
inventors wrote volumes on the study of dragons. I believe they had a laboratory in this desert. If only their work had not been lost. Truly, the Blights set the field of draconology back centuries. Deplorable.
I found this manuscript on dragons in an ancient Tevinter laboratory. Will it help you?
What remarkable diagrams. Are these chambers of the draconic heart? Oh, if only I could read the script. Do you perhaps know a linguist? Or a Tevinter historian?
I don't, but the Inquisition might. I'll speak to our specialists. We'll have to speak some other time.
Ver. Elektriğin üzerine seçelim. Tamam, geç. Yerini göstermiyor. Işınlanacak. Bunu böyle ışınlanabiliyor muyuz? Heh.
Did you hear what happened to Marcus?
Fell into the hole.
I can assure you, every item I sell is guaranteed to be lethal to somebody. Bu kadar çok yer kaplayan şeyler ne acaba, bunlar mı? Bunlar da ben atamam ya. Lazım olur şimdi çoğu şey, onları ben nasıl toplayayım, bir sürü şey var. You don't have any more linen, do you?
Galiba. Ne bu? Çift elli ne ki o? Elli bir şey. Onun tek eli değilmiş demek ki. Bak bu da çift elliymiş. Öğrenmiş olduk. Evet. Böyle sıkıntı. Ne oldu? Nereye çıkmasına gideceğimi bilmiyorum. Bu arada bu kampın olduğu yere gidemiyoruz arkadaşlar ya, kapalı. Burası hep böyle kapalı. Bunun olayı niye böyle acaba? Mağara büyük ihtimal buraya en mantıklı maden falan var. Madenden gireceğiz ama maden kim bilir nerededir. Şöyle çıkabilsem buradan giderim de atladığını denesek mi? Evet, çıkılır. Yol yok ya. Ama başka bölgeye gideceğiz. Burada bir görevim kalmadı. Zaten deneyelim ya da. Yani burada başka bir görevim olabilir. Tamam, bunu da yeniliyorsun. Tamam ya, başka haritaya geçiyoruz. Şimdilik burada işim bitti. Vay be. Lan cennet vardı orada, cenneti icat ettiler. Artık Skyhold'umuz var.
Apologies, but not one of them.
Thank you for Haven. Less so for Redcliffe, but I am committed to serve your worship.
That's not what I think he meant.
I am well aware of that.
This is just... it's something to keep their hands busy. I'm grateful you tracked me down when you did. As exciting as wandering the woodlands was, this is better. It's good to be part of something so important. Something that could change things.
I'm pleased that you feel that way.
Makes me sound like a Chantry sister, doesn't it? Some giddy new initiate. But so be it. I suppose you've earned my loyalty and girlish enthusiasm. You are who you choose to follow. Someone told me that once. Took me years to understand what he meant.
There's wisdom in that.
It was a chevalier who said those words to me. A powerful man, but never without honor. A true knight. We met as competitors in the Grand Tourney. He left me with that advice before we parted. Put aside his own ambitions to help me win the melee. I don't think I even thanked him.
That was generous of him.
He said I stood to gain everything, while he'd lose nothing. When it was over, he offered to mentor me, to teach me to become a chevalier like him. And I, young and stupid, turned him down flat. I just won the melee at the Grand Tourney. I didn't need him. I should have gone with him. Perhaps things could have been different.
You're here now, a Grey Warden. It worked out.
I suppose it did, didn't it? But I'm older, hopefully wiser. And I think I've chosen the right person to walk with.
Our mounts have never had better. Perhaps Master Dennett will join us now. A space like this needs an expert.
Kimmiş lan?
Thanks for my life in Haven. You've all sorts serving now. If that means change, so be it.
Inquisitor, I've found where the Red Templars come from. They're in full redoubt. The Knights were fed red lyrium until they turned into monsters. Samson took over after their corruption was complete.
How do you know Samson?
He was a Templar in Kirkwall, until he was expelled from the Order. I knew he was an addict, but this... Red lyrium is nothing like the lyrium given by the Chantry. Its power comes with a terrible madness.
The Red Templars swarming Haven were proof enough.
We cannot allow them to gain strength. The Red Templars still require lyrium. If we find their source, we can weaken them and their leader.
Where do we begin?
Caravans of red lyrium are being smuggled along trade roads. Investigating them could lead to where it's being mined. If you confront them, be wary. Anything connected to Samson will be well guarded.
Yanlış.
Hello.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
strangest thing. When I reached down, my dagger was gone. Just gone. Know where I found it? In a barrel. The thing was filled to the brim with daggers. Got the strangest feeling. I know someone took it right off my belt, but I can't recall who.
Watch that tip, Morris.
Someone emptied a whole bag of turnips into the fire. Ah, make it, the smell is everywhere. I was going to use them for dinner and then... I can't recall who took them.
Honored, Inquisitor. Gotzi Sturholm. Did my part on the walls. Now I'm on this strange collection you've brought us. Don't know its worth to the fight, exactly, but it's good workmanship.
Where did you learn your skills?
Orzammar. Carved a few statues every day. And before you ask, yes, I chose to leave. I carved a paragon who turned out to be a sodding madwoman. Couldn't stand looking at it. The memory of a dwarf, right?
Any ideas about the origins of these reliefs?
To Winter, early. It's in the tool marks, the grain. That's hard dust mined from the 100 Pillars, if I know anything. Oh, I suppose the scene is probably full of Tevinter robes, too.
The 100 Pillars?
Damnedest things. Massive spires that aren't stone. It's like a mortar. Don't know more than that. Strong, though.
Do you have insight into the stories these tiles are supposed to depict?
Tell you what. You finish one, and I'll write it up. Who better, right? A good dwarven perspective.
Another time.
Best of the vein, Inquisitor.
Corypheus is back. Oh, shit.
You said he was a Darkspawn or a Magister. What is he really?
I'm not sure. I don't think Corypheus really knows either. He's definitely a Darkspawn, but when we found him, it was pretty obvious he hadn't heard that. He thinks he's a Magister, a priest of Dumat, in fact. He says he broke into the Golden City, like in the Chantry tale.
If you and Hawk defeated him once, we can do it again.
We didn't just think Corypheus was dead. He was dead. No pulse, no breath, full of stab wounds. There wasn't a lot of room for doubt. It makes me wonder. I thought the wardens imprisoned Corypheus to use him. Maybe they did it because he can't be killed.
How did you and Hawke even wind up in a Grey Warden prison for ancient Darkspawn?
Corypheus sent people after Hawke. He actually got control of an entire Carter clan. Made them drink Darkspawn blood. Weird shit. We tracked the Carter to an old dwarven fort or something in the mountains. Of course, it turned out to be a trap. They needed Hawke's blood to open the locks holding Corypheus, and they drew us into the prison to get it.
There has to be a way to defeat Corypheus. We'll find it, don't worry.
I hope you're right. Maker's breath, what have I let loose?
Forget the past. It makes no difference what Corypheus is or how he got loose. We're putting an end to him.
I wish I had your confidence. But you've got more important things to do than listen to me worry. Just let me know when you want something shot.
Impressive, is it not? Fit for a leader, meant to show influence and the burden of it. It is where the Inquisition will sit in judgment. Where you will sit in judgment.
Who will I be judging exactly?
Those who have done wrong. You will know of them, at the very least. All this presumes they have survived their initial encounter with you, of course.
Still more lives in my hands.
You are a beacon of law, Inquisitor, as others retreat from responsibility. But this needn't be bloody. The Inquisition's sovereignty is derived from the allies who validate it. You are both empowered and bound. Justice has many tools. If their application is clever, execution may even seem merciful by comparison.
Is there anyone I should judge?
Take the throne when you're ready. We will bring him before you.
Of standards. That'll guide the dragon right in. By the time it's across.
30 tane büyük ihtimal.
With allies come enemies. Now we have a place to hold them.
Your worship, the cells are ready for the enemies of the Inquisition. Good facilities in Skyhold. Whoever built this knew how to keep prisoners safe but secure.
Something is troubling me, Inquisitor. Leliana is receiving reports of mages becoming possessed, Templars going rogue. No one is dealing with these matters. I was hoping we might, before they get worse.
We can certainly look into it.
I will mark these incidents on the map as I learn of them, Inquisitor. And I would be pleased to accompany you if and when you investigate.
Do you have any advice for me?
Tell that demon, what does it call itself? Cole. Tell it to leave. He may not mean harm, but that does not mean he will not harm us. Spirits are not creatures to take at face value. Be cautious with him, Inquisitor.
Can you tell me more about the Seekers?
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original Inquisition long ago, when it united with the Chantry. Seekers stood above the Templars, watching over them but also investigating magical events they couldn't handle. We were meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality match the ideal?
But what are Seekers exactly?
Those who know anything of us think we are Templars. We do not use lyrium, however. Our abilities are different, as was our original purpose. We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the Divine. And not even her, truthfully.
Sounds like the Seekers didn't do their job very well.
No, probably not. The Templars have always feared us. When a Seeker arrived at a circle, they knew trouble was afoot. That kind of power is troubling. You begin to think you are the only one who can solve the world's problems. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the blind ones.
Do you think that kind of problem could ever be fixed?
Possibly. Though the Seekers themselves would need to change. They were clearly not willing to, even though they abandoned everything they stood for to avoid it. In my heart, I believe they can still be salvaged, but not by their own hands.
You mentioned that Seekers have different abilities than Templars.
Entirely. A Templar's abilities come from lyrium and are designed to hunt mages. Ours come from ritual and many years of dedicated training. We cannot be possessed by demons and are immune to mind control. Useful, considering our role. Seekers can gain other gifts, though that depends on the individual.
What kind of gifts do you have?
I can set the lyrium within a person's blood aflame. Both mages and Templars bend before my will. Some Seekers use it to interrogate, others simply to paralyze. Once there was a Seeker who could use it to kill. That particular gift is considered rare.
Why did your order turn against the Chantry?
We originally united with the Chantry through a treaty that stated they would keep mages under control. It was felt Most Holy had tacitly allowed the Circle of Magi to vote on its independence, thus breaking the treaty. The Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
You sound like you disagree.
We knew what was happening at Kirkwall, where the Mage Rebellion began. We looked into reports of Knight Commander Meredith's harsh treatment of her charges years earlier. But we found so many shocking cases of magical corruption, it was decided her actions were justified. If we'd been there when it happened, if we'd looked harder at the root causes...
Mages were oppressed. What else did you expect?
I expected us to do better. When faced with a problem, the Seekers would close ranks and crush it. We would find an answer, but only once we felt we weren't being coerced. The moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was difficult to watch.
How does someone become a Seeker?
Most Seekers begin training in their youth. I was much older, an exception due to my noble birth. We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to undergo the vigil, and most fail even then.
Is the vigil some kind of initiation?
It is the rite every Seeker must go through in order to summon their gifts. A full year of fasting, prayer, and separation from all distractions, including other people. We empty ourselves of all emotion, focusing only on the purity of our devotion. And the moment it finally ends, it's wonderful. Faith realized. I cannot put it into words.
Was it some kind of magic?
I don't fully understand it, to be honest. If the vigil was not so arduous, I'd say more should attempt it. What if mages never needed to fear possession by demons? I'm told it is impossible, however. I suppose I'll never know the truth of it now.
I've no more questions.
Inquisitor, huh? Well, you've got the fortress for it. Speaking of which, when you've got a second, there's something I want to show you.
What did you want me to come see?
Here, come on. I'll show you.
Why am I dressed like this?
You'll see. Come on. It'll be worth your time, I promise. Evening. Iron Bull. My merc band just joined up.
Tanner. I'm from Jader. Well, near Jader.
Mira. I was guard captain for Lady Pendel. Signed on after shit blew up at the Conclave. Share a drink? Who's your friend?
This is Grim. He doesn't talk much.
It's a pleasure.
Hey, Grim. Do I know you from somewhere?
So, you ready to kill some demons? Or Venatori? Or whatever that Corypheus asshole is?
This isn't just about killing. We're helping the Inquisitor save the world and build the next empire.
The Inquisitor isn't a god. He's just a man trying to do the right thing.
Well, long as I get paid, I'm happy. That's why I signed up.
I just couldn't spend my whole life on a farm. Needed to live a little, you know.
What about you, Mira? Why'd you join up? I thought you were serving some noble.
I saw what happened at Haven. The Inquisitor staring down that monster and his archdemon. I don't sing the chant of light as much as I should. But you can't see something like that and not believe.
Well, Grim and I should find our tents. Thanks for the drink. I know every soldier under my command. You don't have that option, but a few faces might help.
It was good to get their perspective.
Yeah. Sounds like we could use an easy win for boys like Tanner. And vets like Mira have seen enough to be wary. You've got a good army coming along. Remember that, no matter what comes next.
Inquisitor.
What's been going on?
That strange boy came in with an armful of chickens. You're looking after him, right?
Shouldn't you be out there scouting?
In a bit. We're in Skyhold for supplies and a change of personnel. Not me, though. Indispensable.
I should go.
Someone left sliced plums on the windowsill again. The juice is attracting flies. There are spiders everywhere. The plums were right in front of me.
Inquisitor. That's got a good ring to it. We're happy to be here, Your Worship. You need anything, let me know.
Iron Bull said the charges were at my disposal. Do you have any suggestions on how to use them?
I suspect Haven's quiet by now. Might be worth sending the boys back. We could recover some supplies, get an idea about the enemy's strength. We could even pick up any stragglers who haven't found Skyhold yet.
Can we talk about the Bull's charges?
Certainly. What can I tell you?
Have you had any other interesting jobs?
Had one noble whose rival had been told by a fortune teller that her death would come on feathered wings. The noble sent us after the rival. Not assassination, legal and everything, but we had to wear feathers. We sewed them into shirts over our armor. Should have seen the chief, all feathered up like the cock of the walk. Ended up retreating after all that. The rival choked to death a year later on a chicken bone.
We'll talk later.
Can free the ties of our heads, craving master spot. Can they find the key that can unlock the past? Where hide from fighting
Of she who stands behind the throne.
I hope I can help somehow. Maybe cleaning?
Oh, Inquisitor, I joined. Sutherland, your worship. I saw some bandits, so I came to warn people. I'll let your warriors know and then stay out of the way.
Could be better.
Oh.
Of course.
I see.
It's not me.
Kol ne yapıyormuş?
What are you doing?
Listening. Eyes rough, jangling armor hurts my ears, back aching, fingers too clumsy for knots. Wind cool like Aunt Eloise's pond, lips scalded as I sip, warmth blossoms, first kiss in the barn, what was his name? Tin jangle as the blood spills, Pierre's wrapped body on the wagon to the chantry, 5 more minutes, my fault.
Can you listen to anyone's mind like you did hers?
No, they have to need me. Pain, fear, sadness, guilt, anger, hurt. Things I can fix.
I don't want to see her hurt.
She already is. I can help.
Yiğit lan.
It's okay. Nothing you did mattered.
What? Who are you?
They lie there, and sometimes they die, just like Pierre. You can't save them.
I don't know who you are.
Wait. That didn't work. Let me try again. You'll forget me in a minute.
Cole, stop.
Inquisitor, your worship, what are you doing here? Is this man with you?
Yes. Sorry to trouble you.
How do I do it right if I've done it wrong and I can't make her forget?
I hear you've had some bad news.
I'm sorry, your worship. It was my fault. I was tired, and I thought I could take a few minutes to rest.
You can't save everyone. This wasn't your fault.
Yes, your worship. Thank you.
She's not better.
What's important is that you tried and that you didn't disappear when it didn't work.
I wanted to. She was hurting.
You did everything you could to help. Just like she did. It wasn't your fault.
I don't understand, but thank you for trying to help.
Somewhat off color today, Inquisitor? An excess of bile, perhaps. Might I bleed you, or offer a herbal tonic?
Heard you found something that had to do with wardens. Would have liked to have seen it.
Varric's friend Hawk said there were suspicions of corruption in Grey Warden ranks. Do you know anything about that?
Corruption? What sort of corruption?
Corypheus. He's been known to influence the minds of wardens.
That could very well explain why so many have disappeared.
If this is true, then all wardens are in danger. Even you. We'd better find your brothers.
I agree. If Hawk's given you an idea where to start, we should get moving immediately.
Let's talk about the Grey Wardens. You must know a lot about them.
Ah, the Wardens. I'm afraid we're less exciting than we seem.
How do the Wardens deal with archdemons?
Short answer. Stick it with swords until it stops moving.
Wardens are in all the stories. If it was that easy, anyone could do it.
No, it really is that simple. Just because the archdemon is magic doesn't mean it can't be killed with swords. It just has to be a Grey Warden sword. Look, it's not the killing blow that's the problem. It's getting the dragon to the point where it's vulnerable, where it actually can be killed. There's no short answer for that, I'm afraid.
Let's continue this at another time.
As you wish. I'll be here if you need me.
First, a full wheel of Antivan smoked cheese, and now 3 royals worth of crushed mint. They were right here. I remember seeing someone take them. I can't recall their face.
There's no end of it. I can store an army.
Yani bayağı büyük bir yermiş ya. Evet, yeni kapılar, yeni yerler.
Inquisitor. I was just inspecting our new headquarters. Foundation cracks, nesting animals, and miles from any centers of civilization. The staff must make it presentable if we're to receive any visitors of distinction.
It certainly wouldn't do for the Inquisition to appear overly shabby.
We've only just now convinced everyone we are precisely what Theras requires. The mages are showing great trust in you. They need to feel safe here.
Do you not feel safe here?
I've had difficulty forgetting Corypheus' attack on Haven. Do you know who first leapt to arms? Our workers. They were so proud of our cause. Corypheus simply cut them down. So much screaming after that first blast of fire. So many people turned to ash.
Corypheus will pay when I face him again.
I dearly hope that happens soon. Well, before I return to my duties, allow me to congratulate you on your appointment as Inquisitor, my lord. I will now bring diplomatic issues to your attention, and I'm more than happy to help with any situations that arise.
I'm loath to part from such pleasant company. Would you care to walk the castle with me?
Oh, well, a tour then? Let me fetch the steward.
That isn't precisely what I was hoping for.
Well, do let me know if you change your mind. Now I must find someone to prepare the guest quarters.
Giriyoruz da yani yok hiç hepsi de böyle bir şey yapıyor. Bakalım bu koleyi geliştirebiliyor muyuz?
Hello, honored to help with
The
these.
Elder thing's
whatever.
not a god. He's darkspawn. They make it not darkspawn.
But they say that's why he cut the sky to claim the throne.
You're telling me it's fight like ours?
Geldik. Yukarıdadır herhalde o zaman.
Greetings again, Inquisitor.
I trust everything is well with the mages.
We are mostly relieved. An alliance with the Inquisition offers security. Although, who knows for how long?
I'll leave you to it.
Greetings again, Inquisitor.
You were once a Grey Warden.
Mine is an unusual circumstance, Inquisitor. Another time, then.
A request has been made of you, Inquisitor. Here it is.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
Adequate. Based on the partial improvements to Skyhold.
As you were.
Yes, Inquisitor.
You've made such intriguing design choices for the castle, my dear. They must be inspired.
I just let Josephine pick whatever she wants.
There's wisdom in knowing when to defer to someone else's expertise, Inquisitor. And appearances are important. We can't have you mistaken for a commoner.
I've never been much concerned with maintaining the distinction of rank.
It's not about rank, darling. It's about power. You command an army of the faithful, outfitted by the coin of the nobility. You must be a man who the common folk aspire to be and to whom the nobility bow.
That's quite a lot for one person to pull off, don't you think?
It is a challenge all great leaders must face, Inquisitor. As the stories of the Inquisition spread, more and more people will wonder if you are the man they say you are. They will question what they've heard, but they will believe what they see. They must see someone greater than legends.
If that's your standard for me, what does the Divine have to live up to?
Andraste and the Maker cast very large shadows. The Divine absolutely must set the example for all Thedas. She must seem to be the embodiment of the Maker to the faithful. She needs the authority of the Maker and the charisma of Andraste. It will be no small task to fill that vacant throne.
Aşağı in. Nereye gidiyor?
Your open support for the mages likely earned you enemies. Our agents will monitor the situation. If the most opposed can be identified, we may still turn this to our advantage.
You're not planning assassinations, are you?
I was planning to unleash Josephine on them. She kills with kindness. Regardless, I applaud you for the courage to stand up for the mages.
In Redcliffe, you sacrificed yourself so that I could return here.
Of course I did. One small life in exchange for a second chance at history. I always loved a bargain.
Well, it worked. That's all that matters to me.
If only everything were that simple.
The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in the Haven. I am much better now. She was a good friend, and it will take time to get used to her absence. But thank you for asking. It is appreciated.
You seem to know a great many people.
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
You seem to know Josephine quite well.
I met her a long time ago, but we didn't become good friends until years later. After the Blight, in fact. I'd just returned to Val Rayo, and she welcomed me back by throwing a diplomatic ball. She was the Antivan ambassador at the time, you see. The ball was... alright. Too many politicians. At midnight, Josie and I left to find a real party. We've been friends ever since.
What do you consider a real party?
It's not a real party until someone's small clothes are pinned to a chantry board. And that's all I'm saying about it.
You have a history with the Warden who ended the Blight, don't you?
I had the privilege of calling her friend before she died. The world seemed much duller after that. It still does.
We can continue this conversation later.
You know where I am.
Şöyle çıkıyor. Ne büyük kaleymiş. büyük olması yok ama güzel de yani o kadar da öyle anlatayım. Bölüm boyunca insanlarla mı konuşacağım sürekli? Tamam ya, şu yargılama işini yapalım.
This was a surprise. After you return from the bogs, we discovered this man attacking the building with a goat. Chief Movran the Under. He feels slighted by the killing of his Avar tribesmen, who repeatedly attacked you first. What should we do with him? Where should he go?
You're a chieftain of the Avar. Will your attacks persist?
A courtroom? Unnecessary. You killed my idiot son, and I answered, as is my custom, by smacking your holdings with goat's blood.
Don't look at me.
No foul. He meant to murder Tvinters, but got feisty with your Inquisition. A red-headed mother guarantees a brat. Do as you've earned, Inquisitor. My clan yields. My remaining boys have brains still in their heads.
I don't know. He could go in that... what's it called? A gibbet? Chief Movran, you'll be placed in a gibbet to serve as an example to... someone. Then, probably released.
Gibbet? Gibbet? Gibbet?
Yapacak bir şey yok. Denedik. Başka mahkum var mı? Yine şey yapıyor. Bakalım. Aynı kişi mi gelecek? Başkası mı gelecek?
You recall Gerion Alexius of the Winter. Ferelden has given him to us as an acknowledgement of your aid. The formal charges are apostasy, attempted enslavement, and attempted assassination on your own life, no less. Tevinter has disowned and stripped him of his rank. You may judge the former magister as you see fit.
I remember what would have happened to Thedas if his treachery had succeeded.
I couldn't save my son. Do you think my fate matters to me?
Will you offer nothing more in your defense?
You've won nothing. The people you saved, the acclaim you've gathered. You'll lose it all in the storm to come. Render your judgment, Inquisitor.
The Inquisition has exceptionally secure cells for prisoners of distinction. Jail him and have Liliana question him on anything useful. That seems fitting.
Chained like a common criminal. So be it.
Başka var. Ne var? Ne kadar varsa hepsini yargılayalım diyeceğim de yok galiba. Çek.
They've certainly spared no expense.
Arkadaşlar bu bölüm uzun olmuş olabilir ama yapacak bir şey yok. Bunları yapmak zorundayım.
Better and better. What can't we do in a place like this?
What? Inquisitor.
I'll be back later.
I'll be here.
Hep aynı şeyler olduğu için burayı da salıyorum. Tamam, devam. Bu arada şimdi yeni bölgeye geçince bu da bölüm sonu yaparız. Sonraki bölümde devam. Bakalım nelerimiz varmış. Güzel. İyiymiş aslında. Bayağı da varmış aslında. Yerlerine bakalım. Buradan mesela hiçbir şey almamışım. Buraya da ben şu şeyi alacağım ya, iksir sayısını arttırmayı. Açılmış yalnız var ya. Ya bak. Şimdi buraya bir ara uğrayacağım. O kapılardan yine bir tanesini açarız. Bu ara buradan bir yerlere gideceğiz. Darkspawn'un kaynağını bul. Batıdaki bilmem ne. Ejder metnini çevir. Bayağı bir şey var ya. Bayağı görevimiz var. Güzel ama. Görev olması güzel. Başlayalım. Morali iyileştirme.
At your service.
Tüm parıltılar.
Inquisitor.
Metalleri topla.
Inquisitor.
15 dakikalık görev. Buraya gideceğiz.
What was that?
Buraya geldik.
My fellow researcher. What can I do for you?
My people have translated that Tevinter manuscript.
Studies on dragon hunting patterns? Migrations? Ha! Durant's theory that dragons can't see the color blue is refuted. With those dreadful raiders out of the way, we can finally lure out the abyssal high dragon. You should have the honor, my friend. I've made note of the appropriate spots in the wastes for you to place lures. Place this bait, and then wait. It will be a momentous achievement in dragonology.
I'm off to plant the bait for the High Dragon.
I cannot wait to hear your observations. You must make note of how she circles the hunting area.
We'll have to speak some other time.
İyilik. Evet, burada bölüm sonu yapalım arkadaşlar. Videoyu beğendiyseniz beğenmeyi, yorum bırakmayı, abone olmayı unutmayın. Bir sonraki bölümde görüşürüz. Kendinize iyi bakın. Hoşçakalın.